And this is the Academy.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Greg Marcos. I'm principal of the Academy San Francisco at McAteer, and this is my team with me right here. And we are so excited to present to you tonight our Innovation Awards pitch. So how might we question? How might we create a community space that celebrates our diversity and inspires a sense of pride and identity? So in 2005 we were founded, and this is our 11th year as a school. We've gone through a lot of changes at our site. In 2013 we achieved what we feel is our true autonomy on our site, since we share a site with another school. And here we are in 2016, and our fourth year is what we like to think is our fourth year is a truly autonomous school. So the context for this this Innovation Awards pitch, or this awards that we're going for, is that we have one of the most diverse student bodies in the district, and in high school. And we, as I said, we share a campus with another school, and since we started 11 years ago, we've been working over those years to sort of redefine ourselves at certain times and now solidify the sort of identity that we're trying to achieve. One of the biggest parts of our, what we believe in at the Academy is relationships and how we build really positive relationships. And we want to create a space that continues to foster those. We hope to create a space that students feel connected to, they feel ownership of, they feel like reflects their identity. And we hope if we do that, students will feel more engaged in the space, engaged in school, and will have better student outcomes, improved achievement. The big thing with the space is we want to make sure that it's reflecting who we are as a community, the students, the staff, the stakeholders, the family. So again, students feel very connected to the space. One of the pieces of data that we looked at that we found interesting was the fact that the most out-of-office referrals that we have is at about noon every day. And so we want to, furthermore, we want to create a space that students want to stay on campus at lunch, maybe rather than go off campus, or sort of stay in a centralized space where they feel connected and they feel safe. So maybe we'll reduce the amount of referrals at that time.
So if you haven't been to the McAteer campus, it's pretty expansive, and this bird's eye view kind of shows you the campus itself, and here's Portola and O'Shaughnessy. So you can see there are a lot of different ways, both from the street and then also within the campus, to get to our space, which is technically right here on the first floor. And so we want to make it so that any of the stakeholders that are coming to our campus can easily find our space and feel welcome right as soon as they park their car or drop off themselves on public transportation.
So we went through the design process, of course, of discover, define, and do. The first thing we did is we talked to as many students as we could in not only in the classroom but outside of the classroom, and we talked to a lot of families at back to school night to find out, A, how do they feel about the space right now, and how do they want it to feel? What kind of space do they want? And then what we want to do is we want to kind of take that information and sort of group it and put it together and kind of figure out different themes or different buckets that stakeholders wanted. One of the biggest things we did is we did this huge stakeholder Google Form survey that went out on School Loop and to staff and to the community to find out what, based on the ideas we put together, what did they like the most. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. And then what we did is we started prototyping. We started not only prototyping sort of physically, but also sort of via maps and other visuals. And we sort of sketched some things out on the wall, on paper down the wall in the area that we have as our main entrance. And so as you can see here, we really love Post-it notes. And so here you can see some of the visuals that we kind of put together. This is part of the survey that we did. This is Karen creating this prototype. And it was actually, we really had a good time doing this. I think one of the best parts about our staff and the adults on campus, we actually really like each other and spending time with each other. And so it was a nice process to bring us together. And it was really nice to get as much student voice as possible. And that was really something that was important to us.
So after we did this really big survey that we sent out via School Loop to a bunch of our stakeholders, we made our prototype, and then from the prototype we actually took kids, Karen and I took kids on tours of our site and then kind of told them about what we had done so far from our prototype and where different things would go. And then we re-gave them copies of the survey on paper, but more so with the idea of like, can you now tell us, now that you've seen where things might go, can you give us feedback on that? And then they gave us some more ideas. And these are ideas that unfortunately didn't make the cut because of budget constraints. But so these are part of our iterative process, but not final ideas.
So, I apologize a little bit for the sound. You have to press play. All right. So, you're about to see a little bit of our student voice, because we weren't able to have any students with us here tonight. We wanted to make sure that you were able to hear their voice and see some of the process that went through. And you're also going to get a virtual tour of our space to kind of bring that to light for you. Is there not supposed to be sound? We
Embody the feeling of people interested all like a mansion patio type of theme, and we should have like flowers and like new benches and a new stage, and it would give like a good vibe and energy when it comes to.
So Celine is going to take us on a tour, and I'm going to help narrate because it's a little bit hard to hear on here. So this is the stage when you first walk in to this space, and right here is overlooking the field. And this is where Liz and I took the students out on tours, multiple different class groups. Here is sort of the larger entryway where a majority of folks come in through the campus to get to our new first floor home. And this is the floor, or sorry, the doors heading into it. And then down here is this hallway that this model, please don't make fun of my diorama, kind of shows you a little bit of. And then there's a little bit of a sense of the lack of light and air in the space. So we can pause that there. We just wanted to be able to tell you a little bit more about the space to get a good sense of the physical spot.
We took all of our ideas, because I'm not the most arty person, and I don't know if all of us are. So we kind of took the ideas from our students and the ideas that we went through and put it on a mood board based on examples that we found. So here's a diagram or a blueprint of that space there and the pictures of the current area. If you had a chance to walk around before, you would see that this area underneath this part here is like super dark, and we got some student quotes to kind of encapsulate what that feels like. A lot of people said there was no sense of direction. People have a hard time getting to our school. Even like the postman gets lost and will deliver stuff to the other school. So there was a need for that. Lack of seating. Kids didn't want to hang out there. There was nowhere to sit. It was not welcoming. It was dark. It was dirty. It was scary. And then from that we came up with, or they came up with these suggestions for signage, painting the stairs with our Wolf logo on it, so you clearly know when you come and see those first floor stairs, you are on Wolf territory. Like, this is our school, this is our part of campus. Seating, so that people will want to hang out there. A chalkboard area where we would kind of post up events for the school, and then the kids could also use that as a space for sort of like graffiti, to like write notes and draw. A mural that our art teacher, Nadora, is going to talk about in a little bit. Lighting to get kids under that space because it's the only place to hide from the fog up in the hill there. It's raining a lot. And then paw prints that would also lead people from the various entryways to our campus. As Karen showed us, there's a lot of different ways to get to our school. So we'd have paw prints that lead kind of people to the space, and then each class would get a paw print and be able to sign it, and that would be kind of like a legacy living on at our school site.
So we have like a 5-phase process in implementing this. Let's start with the first one, and that's to clean and clear up the area. We want kids to be there, and they don't want to be there if it's really crowded with a bunch of junk. So we're going to clean and clear that area out, get kids into the area. The next phase, paint it. Make them a space that they feel proud of. Make it nice and refreshed. Next, we're going to add some lighting. We want to make the kids like want to stay there, see what they're doing, and create a mood that's really comfortable. Once we have the kids in the area, we're going to provide seating. And one of the great things about our plan is that it's one that where kids can still use the space while it's being implemented. At no time will this area be shut down. Kids can keep using it. And then finally, we have Eric, our artist, who is going to talk about the identity piece.
My name is Eric. The past few weeks, we've been gathering up information about what the kids wanted on the wall. We got a few ideas. This week we've been conceptualizing. We drew a few drawings out of a wolf sleeping, because it's kind of, like they said, it's kind of like in a dark space. And we wanted a wolf as our logo, and then also the city. They wanted to incorporate the city into and the community.
So,
We're out of time. Do you want to do like one more slide and then we go?
So,
Thank you.
Sure.
Fast.
yeah. So I'll finish with the ask. If you want to go one more, thank you so much. So we are asking for $11,425, and this encompasses a lot of the things that Liz was discussing. Our short-term outcomes are that we want to engage our community. We want to engage not just the students, but the larger stakeholders of our CBOs and our family members, to have them be a part of this project so that there's an accountability and a tradition built within that. And that will help in also engaging our community to be more connected to the actual physical space. And so thank you. We just want to thank you so much for being here.
And we just want to let you guys know that now that we've moved into our first floor space, which is finally our own unique space, that this piece of making our space look like ours and be ours is really going to help us to build identity and purpose among our students.
Thank you so much.